All right. It says we're live.
We are live.
It says we're live, and we do have a way to answer comments if they come in. So we should go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, apparently, on the StreamYard thing, when it goes live, if somebody asks us to if somebody makes a question or something, it pops up on the screen, which is
cool which is cool. Yeah, which is great, and you can see it too, right?
Yeah, I think so. Hopefully, we'll see.
I'm seeing a count show up here too. So there's nobody watching right now. But again, we're doing this as a test. So I may redo the intro again too. But I want to say thanks, Aaron, for joining me today. Aaron Pynn, who has obviously have your own YouTube channel, which I'm a big fan of, by the way. I watch so many of your live streams. I love your live streams, and I wanted to just say too that I really enjoy them. Many reasons I enjoy them is because you recognize people as they come into the live stream, and I'm just amazed that you're able to keep things going too with people asking questions. Usually, obviously, you have a topic. Once this video is posted too, I'll post a link to your channel below. I'm sure most people already know who you are, but just in case they don't, I'll put a link to the channel there. But I just love how you interact with people during a live stream, because people are asking questions, including myself, and sometimes it takes you way off topic. So I mean, how do you do that? That's amazing.
It gets a bit crazy. Well, I'm a big fan of your channel too, just so you know.
Well, thanks.
But it gets like super crazy sometimes. The way I see it right now, because basically I'll have a topic thought up when I go in, but I try to let people know that welcome to the channel for the first time. Just because there's a topic that we start with doesn't mean it's going to end there, which is good and bad. So basically, if somebody comes in and they're not really interested in, maybe I'm talking about giallo films, and they may not be interested in giallo films. In 20 minutes, I could be talking about something completely different. So stick around. It might be your topic in around 20 minutes. So
exactly, yeah. Now you have, I know you've talked about this a little bit, but you have a kind of a background in theater, improv, and things like that. Maybe you could talk about that a bit.
Well, when I was in school, initially I was going into acting. So the entirety of my school life was focused on that. So I took like speech classes. I was really bad stutterer when I was really young. I took speech classes and I took singing classes. I can't sing, just to like get it, and movement and like some dance and stuff like that. I did like a lot of plays, both like in school and kind of outside, kind of the off Broadway type of thing. And I just eventually, like, I kind of fell in love with it. But when I got time to go to school, I was accepted to Western Ontario for drama, and I was accepted to a school in my home province for journalism. And my grandparents, who I was raised by, were like, journalism's safer. Why don't you try the journalism first? And if you don't like the journalism, then you can eventually go and do the theater thing. So I listened to that, and I was young and I was kind of cocky at the time. At the time, there was VHS. So you would you would do up a tape where you do like kind of like monologues. And so I had like 4 or 5 monologues that were go-tos. And I would send them out for different like things like soap operas, like Los Alamitos, places like that. So eventually I got offered a couple roles. And I turned them down because I thought, man, I can do this anytime. Right. Then eventually I had kids and it steamrolled, and well, here I am right now.
Yeah. It's funny because I think we share some history there, because I was also a theater major when I was in college. I did a lot of plays in high school, and I just absolutely loved it. Really, really enjoyed it. And went into college, was a theater major in college. I did the classics like Chekhov, Ibsen, Shakespeare, things like that. And then I actually moved to New York City and was in New York City for many years, trying to, do some acting. I did some off-Broadway stuff too. I did Chekhov off-Broadway, which is not a lot of call for that. But the other thing too is I lived in Los Angeles for a few years, and I went to the Upright Citizens Brigade, the UCB, which has a classroom in New York. I don't know if they're open now, but they have one in New York and also in Los Angeles. So I went to a class and I really enjoyed it. Improv was always a thing that I was doing too. So, I did that in college. I actually ran a workshop in improv when I was in college. So But like you, I had another career and I just wasn't really making it as an actor. So I decided to have a plan B, and then your plan B becomes your plan A, and then this is where you're at, right?
I feel that, man.
Yeah. But I mean, I've always loved movies. I mean, I've always loved movies since I was a kid. I was always in high school watching classic films. And so I don't know if you did that as well when you were younger, maybe starting off. Did you always watch horror films to start with, or?
Well, I watched everything. That's why my taste is probably so eclectic. But I started watching we had like a channel called the CBC, the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. That was the only channel I got back then.
Yeah.
When I was younger, so you'd have CBC late night. So Monday to Friday, every night there'd be a movie that would come on, and would usually be like classic movies like Joan Crawford, Betty Davis, and around Halloween time for October. And they go into November too. They do like a full like 2 months of like kind of classic horror. They'd have Universal, and they would have a few of the old RKO stuff, and they'd have a lot of the Hammer stuff as well. So I kind of grew up like watching that, and where I couldn't see everything, because at the time VHS wasn't quite yet a thing. Basically, I would get movie books from the library, and I would read these movie books over and over again. I'd see like stills from like Hammer's Dracula, Prince of Darkness, and from the old like Nosferatu, and just dreamt of actually seeing the films. And so eventually when VHS came around, I started like consuming everything that I could. And horror was like a big thing. Film noir was another one that really like kind of struck a nerve with me.
Yeah.
I pretty much watch everything, I think.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm so impressed with your live streams. I love it also too. I should mention this. One of the things I love about your live streams is when you someone asks a question and you unclip your microphone, then you go find the thing.
Yeah, go looking for the movie.
I absolutely love that. I think that's great. It's just great because you think people that haven't been on your live streams before might join, and there's no one there, right? But everyone that's been in there knows you're off to look for something, right? So.
Oh, yeah, because like I can't imagine somebody just like comes in and they just see the empty couch.
Yeah.
But yeah, usually it's like I'm gone to look for like a film, or somebody asks me, okay, what features are on this one here, and I'll go grab it if I got it.
Now, do you find like around this time of year you're starting to watch more horror movies, or are you pretty much watching horror films all the time?
Well, I watched a bit of everything all the time. Actually, last weekend, because I just wanted like just a bit of a chill weekend, I grabbed like some cheesy action films. So I got some stuff sent from Mill Creek. You saw the video, I think. And so basically, they sent me this. One of the things they sent me was this 10 movie action set. Right. It was from the 90s and 2000s, and so it's like really cheesy, cool stuff.
Right.
And I oh man, so I sat back and I watched like some cheesy action films.
Right.
And really enjoyed that. But right now, I am starting to watch more horror. Sometimes it's like dedicated by by the channel, because I'm going to do the 31 Days of Live Horror, which is 31 live reviews, one every day, and that gets really draining. So when November comes around, sometimes my content drops off a bit because of it.
Right. But
I'll be trying to film some like pre-tape stuff as well, like to go along with that too.
So the idea is you're watching a film every single day and then talking about it at night. Is that the idea, or?
Yeah, well, I work Monday to Friday. So what I do is I normally get up around like 5 to 6 o'clock in the morning. I'll watch the movie then with as many features as I can. Go to work, and after work I will do a live stream, and I'll talk about the film. And often it'll not be just about the film. Like, so if I talk about Umberto Lenzi in the background, for instance, I could be talking about like Umberto Lenzi's all of his films, or Giallo in general, and kind of like do. So a movie review becomes almost like a topic, and we kind of let it go from there.
Yeah, yeah. And you try to do a new list every year, or you really try to mix it up? Look what you did last year, or is it just based on what your mood is at the time for?
I try to do like a different list every year. I try not to do what everybody else is doing. That's like the one thing. Like everybody does Halloween, and for a while I used to do Halloween, and I'm like, I can't do Halloween anymore because it's just there's so many out there.
Right.
I'm getting a lot of requests for Friday the 13th because of the box set that's coming out.
Right, I saw that
later, like around like October 13th. So,
really? Oh wow!
So if it comes in time enough, I'll do like a video on the whole set and stuff like that.
Right.
But for me, and are you doing the 31 Days Horror?
I haven't decided yet. Last year, I took a little break from my channel, but last year I started to do some Halloween films. But I'll be watching yours for sure.
Because I love watching the like when people do the horror reviews and stuff like that. They're so fun. And the good thing about like if you're not live, then you can just do like a 10-minute video.
Yeah.
But no, it's fun. I'm for me right now. I'm going into like it's topics as well. Like I'm trying to figure out exactly what to do when. So what I'm doing, event, and I'm slowly buying things for Halloween. So this recently came out, the Tales from the Dark.
Yeah. Oh, that looks great.
So the great one. Actually, there's a 100-minute documentary on here.
Nice.
On the film. So I'll be doing this one. This might be the first one for the 31 Days Horror because so it's kind of a newer, it's a newer release.
Yeah,
I love the series. I love the series. I got the TV series as well, so I can probably talk about some of my favorite episodes of the series too.
Nice.
So, do you find now that you do YouTube that's always in the back of your mind? Like you see something and you're like, oh, this will make a video.
Yeah, it's usually at night or even in the morning. If I'm, as soon as I get up, I go, oh, that'd be an interesting idea for a video. And I think the film community on YouTube, to me anyway, is great. I feel like everyone is very supportive and we all try to do different things, which is great. And there's more of these collaborations I think are happening now too. I think with people being at home more, I think it's another great thing. I see many channels doing these types of collaborations and just talking about film. So that's, part of the thing I've really enjoyed. But yeah, every time I watch a film, I'm watching Twin Peaks right now.
Oh, nice. Actually,
do you have your Twin Peaks set? Yeah.
This one? I got you probably got the nicer one. This is the older one.
You know what I got? I got the Blu-ray set with season 3 in it because I'm doing a watch because I've watched season 1 and 2, and I'm going to watch the movie after that Firewalk with Me, and then I'll watch season 3. So I don't know if you've seen season 3 already, but if you watched all the way through,
I'll be interested to see what your thoughts on season 3 are because it's so different.
Yeah, I'm excited about. I'm really excited about it. I'm going through a very big Lynch phase right now, so watching that.
No, I love Lynch.
Yeah, I mean, just amazing. Even his appearances in the first 2 seasons of Twin Peaks, or I guess the second season is when he started to appear, but he's just hilarious. The characterizations and so funny even. So he's great.
I'm a big fan of, I've been a big fan of Twin Peaks for a long time. I got to say one thing. I saw your videos with Heath, which were really good, by the way. Speaking of collaborations.
Yeah.
Because you guys had fun with that.
Yeah, and I saw the one you did with Heath also too. Heath is great. I regularly communicate with him too, and he's got a great channel. He's doing so many things. I mean, it's just amazing how many things he reviews, but he's got a great channel too. Yeah. Oh
yeah. So that's how he told me with the Ultraman. I was a big Ultraman fan when I was a kid, and he got into the Ultraman like now.
Yeah.
And started doing the box sets, and now I'm like grabbing all the Ultraman sets because
Mill Creek was releasing those, right? Mill Creek released those, right?
They did up to, I think, Ultraman Ace was the latest of the legacy sets, and I think Ultraman Geed is the latest of the new sets with RB coming.
Yeah. I heard your. I don't know much about this, but I heard your concerns about the Gamera set, right, that you were having with Amazon. Did you ever get that? Did that set ever come in or?
Good news. Basically, I was like, okay, I'm giving up on the set. It's not going to come. I even contacted Arrow Video, and they said, well, we don't have any more of them. We sent all the ones that we're going to send out. And 10 minutes after I got that email from Arrow Video, I got an email from Amazon. I was like, the Gamera set is being sent out. And I'm like, I don't believe you. And so I got like an email later on with the tracking number, and it's supposed to be, fingers crossed, here by Monday.
Nice.
So if that's the case, I'll be unboxing the Gamera set on Monday.
Oh, cool. That's cool. I had, it's funny because I had a similar issue with Jaws also, because I was ordering the Jaws 4K and I pre-ordered it probably 10 days in advance, and it didn't get here on the day it was released. And I got a little concerned. So I'm a big Jaws fan, but luckily a few days later, it seemed like they seemed to have a lot in stock, and then they weren't in stock or whatever the case was, but they eventually got it to me. But it was like probably about a week later, I think it got to me.
That's not too bad. You're a big Jaws fan?
Yeah, huge Jaws fan. Yeah.
I recently watched Jaws in the drive-in.
Oh yeah. Tell me about that. Yeah.
It was amazing. I mean, like I went to see Back to the Future and Jaws, unique double feature, but they work really well together. Actually, Back to the Future, I'd seen it recently on like at home, so I wasn't sure if I was gonna get into it, but I forgot how good of a movie that was.
Yeah.
And then I get to Jaws. I'm like, hey, I've watched the movie. I'm kind of tired. Am I going to be able to get through this? And oh man, this is such a good movie.
Yeah.
It is just
classic.
incredible.
I was just watching this morning. I was watching The Deep. Have you seen that movie? The Deep with Robert Shaw's in it, Nick Nolte, Jacqueline Bisset. It's another Peter Benchley wrote the book, but it was 2 years after. So Robert Shaw kind of plays the same character that he did Quint in Jaws. But I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, The Deep.
Years ago, I haven't seen it in years. So like VHS days. That's how long ago it's been.
Yeah, I think I caught it on the. It's actually on the. It's on the Criterion channel. If you have that. So I don't know if you get the Criterion channel up there, but I just happened to see it this morning, and I have it on Blu-ray too. But I was like, oh, I should watch that, and I really liked it. I thought it was great.
I got to rewatch that. I mean, I haven't seen it in years. Want to know something kind of? You remember the Jaws, the book, the Peter Benchley novel?
Yeah.
I was really into the movie when I was a kid, so I picked up the book to read. I didn't like the book the first time I read it. I was real. This isn't as good as the movie.
Not as good as the movie, right? Yeah. I'm sure I must have read the book. I have a bunch of the Jaws log, and I have a bunch of the other books that were written on. I have this big book that has a lot of photographs from the set and things like that. And I'm a huge Jaws fanatic, and I like Jaws 2 also. But Jaws the original, I probably watch once or twice a year, if not more. But I'll usually watch it in the summer for sure.
I have to get that 4K. I still don't have it yet, and I hear it's really, really good.
The 4K is really good. Yeah. I should unclip and go get my 4K. How about that?
Yeah.
Should I do that?
You can go for it.
Yeah.
You can play like Jaws music in the background, but then you get copyright strike. That's a big set, man.
All right, I feel like I did a very Aaron thing there just now. So that's just in honor to you. I have to say first, my experience with Jaws on 4K too, since I didn't get the 4K from Amazon, I noticed that they had one copy, I think, at the Best Buy near me. I don't know if you have Best Buy in Canada, but I got the Steelbook also. So here's the Steelbook. Let's see. And then the Steelbook's got these, if you can see that, some of the artwork on the inside there.
They're running from the...
Yeah, sorry, I'm going the wrong way there. But so that's that one. So because they were late, I decided to pick up the Steelbook also. I mean, I have Jaws in so many formats. It's insane, really. I don't know if you have one movie that you keep buying over and over again, but Jaws is one of the ones for me.
A few times Jaws and Black Christmas too are two of the ones.
Yeah, this is the Jaws with the lenticular cover on it.
I like that.
Yeah, and then on the inside you got your basic. Keep holding this up in the wrong place, but there's the 4K with the same. The bonus features are the same on the Steelbook, and it's actually the same as the Blu-ray, I believe. And then it's got this booklet in it. It's got the booklet with a bunch of with the. And the booklet's pretty cool. It's got some script excerpts in it. Bruce the Shark diagrams and all this other stuff. So I'm a big fanatic. So I don't know if you have one. Do you have one film that you said you like to buy over and over again?
I bought Black Christmas a few times.
Oh, Black Christmas. That's what it is. Yeah, gotcha.
But there's a few actually that I probably bought over and over again, to be honest with you, and not realize it. I got The Shining a few times. I don't have the 4K yet. I got to get the 4K for that.
Yeah,
because I do like that movie. But yeah, there's certain ones I got in box sets too. Like I got a few different versions of Tenebrae. I got like a Steelbook Tenebrae. I got the DVD that Arrow put out with the poster. And why did I do that? Like you guys are going to be able to see the poster. But yeah,
it's a virtual poster.
It is imagine. It's really good looking. Right. But yeah, no, movies like that. I got to see Tenebrae and Deep Red in the theater because the place where I lived was a small town, and we had a small theater. It was about 45 minutes drive away from me. And basically, they didn't get in a lot of the new movies, but they got in a lot of like stuff, like kind of the older stuff. So we got a lot of Giallo there and a lot of slasher stuff,
Right.
a lot of like kung fu karate movies, a lot of the Jackie Chan stuff before Jackie Chan was a name. So we got these early stuff like Fearless Hyena and like the Drunken Master, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I got to see a lot of that in theater. And the neat thing was, for some reason, when they'd come in, they'd have like posters, like full-size posters.
Right.
So when I went to see Deep Red, for instance, I went to see Humongous too. It's a Canadian slasher film. When you go in, they were handing out posters for everybody as they go in, which was kind of cool. So it was nice experience. Probably another one of the reasons I like these weird films that I like.
Well, Argento's a blind spot for me. I have Suspiria, I think, but I don't have as many of the Argento films as I like. I like one of my favorite Argento films is The Bird with the Crystal Plumage. I like that one quite a lot. So that's an Argento film, right?
That's his first, actually. That's his first actual Giallo film that he did. It's a fantastic movie.
I love that. I love that movie. Yeah.
Well, if you like that, you're going to like the other Giallo films because it pretty much falls into that set. Right. If you haven't seen Deep Red yet, Profonderoso, that's really, really good. And Tenebrae is my favorite.
Tenebrae. It's been on my list for a long time. Again, I think in the film community too, we have so many, for me anyway, I have so many blind spots. I need to learn about it. And so I get into something like Lynch for a while, or Kieslowski, or a lot of Criterion films. And then, I study them in detail, but it takes time, right? Because you get into this area, and then there's all these other films that are always coming out. So it's an endless viewing experience, right?
Well, it's right now, especially this year, it's been like the year of the box sets. There's been so many box sets come out this year, and there've been like director-oriented box sets from Criterion's like Agnes Varda set, to Severin's Al Adamson set, like focused on two very different directors and very different like output. But it's amazing just to see that you can get like somebody like Varda or Bergman, like they did earlier, on the set, and get someone like Adamson or Herschel Gordon Lewis,
right?
All their output on the set as well, and both are actually equally interesting to study for different reasons.
Yeah, and like I said, it takes time. Usually, what I do is I go through this very immersive process where I take a director like Bergman as an example. I went through that box set probably in a month and a half, watching 2 or 3 films a week and all the extra features and things like that. And it took a long time to go through it, but I'm so happy I did. I learned so much by doing that. I feel like I have so much to learn about film too. That's one of another reasons I love your channel, because I learn so much, because you have such an extensive collection and such a extensive knowledge of. I think we have a comment.
We do? Okay.
I think we might have a comment in here. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that comment as well?
Now I can.
You can see it, right?
Yeah. Was that
Go ahead if you want to answer. Go. I don't know if this is. Oh, the Psycho Blue. Oh, they're just talking about buying Psycho over and over again too. That's a great film to buy over and over again, right?
Especially right now, because you get the uncut version for the first time. So we've been watching Psycho cut this entire time and just didn't realize it.
But isn't that crazy though? They're going to put it on a box set too that you have to buy because you want to see that. You want to see that uncut version, right? I mean,
well, they're putting Psycho out alone. Like that's the one that's the only one they're putting out on its own.
Oh, okay. I thought it was part of a box set. Yeah, I thought there were some other films on it, but
there is
I'm
no
not sure.
There's a set. There's a 4K set.
Yeah,
and there's Psycho putting it on its own too. But me, because I'm a sucker, I'm going to buy the 4K set because I want all the movies in 4K, not just the Psycho one.
So not even the Alfred Hitchcock, because I have that Alfred Hitchcock box that you have in back here. I have the same one. So now I'm going to have to buy Psycho. Yeah, I'm going to have to buy Psycho again. I don't know if you ever saw that. I don't know if you ever saw the documentary. I can't remember the name of it, but it's about the shower scene only. Have you seen that one? Yeah.
It's amazing to think like how Psycho started out. It wasn't going to be on like they thought, well, maybe to be a TV, like an extended episode of Alfred Hitchcock Presents. Yeah. He used his crew from the TV series. They didn't think it was going to be hit. They weren't going to back it at first. He even used Vera Miles, who had been in an episode of Alfred Hitchcock Presents before. Right. So yeah, it was. And Psycho, I got to say, is one of the franchises that I'll go on this hill here. I think they stand up. I like Psycho 2 a lot. Like I think it's amazing. I thought Richard Franklin did a great job. I actually really like Psycho 3. I didn't when I initially saw it,
Right.
but it's grown on me. Psycho 4 I always loved. And I'll even watch Bates Motel, which is, by the way, not the TV series Bates Motel, but there's a movie.
A movie.
I was a teenager
Oh,
called
wow.
Bates Motel with Bud Cort. And it
Wow.
was meant to be like a TV series, right? So their idea was have Bates Motel, but Norman Bates is dead, and he's passed it on to basically an inmate that's kind of rehabilitated, played by Bud Cort,
Right.
from like Mickey and Maude fame. And it would be like The Love Boat or Fancy Island, where there'd be like different stories.
Yeah.
So people go to the hotel, right? And there was like one storyline was there's like kind of a murder going on. Another one was this girl was feeling kind of depressed, and she had like ghosts from that died at a prom or something.
Right.
So it was really weird.
Okay, well, yeah, the shower scene. Yeah, 7852. That's the so Cartoon Fortress. Thanks so much for that. I've seen that. I love those. I love movie documentaries, by the way, too. I really enjoy it. Like I've got the Sidney Lumet documentary. I've got the Hal Ashby documentary. I love, Lynch has got a great documentary on Criterion called The Art Life, by the way, which is really great. And I probably watch that a couple times a year. I just enjoy it so much.
I was excited when Brian De Palma finally got one because I love Brian De Palma.
Oh, Brian De Palma. Yeah, isn't that De Palma documentary really good? Isn't it? It's great.
It's incredible, yeah.
Yeah, because it's just him. It's just him talking about the movies, and you learn so much from it. Like I said, I put it on. No joke, I put it on a couple times a year just to learn things from that, and also to add to my De Palma collection. That there's some movies that I'm missing. But Mary said, "Hey guys, what a surprise! You can read these." Okay, Mary. Yeah, hey, there's some comments in here. I guess this works. We've done the test. Yeah. No, but I was going to say, I haven't seen all the Psycho movies. I've probably seen Psycho 2, but I haven't seen the others. So I'm going to have to pick up that. Cartoon Fortress said, too, there's an Everything Blue Psycho set. It's going to be coming from the UK, I guess. So I guess that's not available here, right?
Not here, not yet. Are you region free?
I have been getting region-free things, but I haven't picked up a region-free Blu-ray player yet. But I will be doing that.
It's going to change your life now.
I will be doing that for sure, yeah. Talking about Psycho, just go back to Psycho a little bit. I remember I actually took a class a few years ago on Hitchcock. That was a TCM Ball State University sponsored thing. It was free online. I don't know if you ever heard about those. Have you?
I heard of it, but I missed it.
Oh, man, it was so good. I mean, they talked about the early career, the silent films all the way through. But one of the things I remember about Psycho is that Hitchcock didn't let people in after a certain point, right? He had specific policy about not letting people in after, after the shower scene happened, right? Because that was the whole idea, is that you've got a celebrity. I hope we're not spoiling Psycho, but
yeah, 50 years later.
Yeah, 50 years later, right? He said it's sold out, by the way, too. The Psycho set. Is there a good Psycho set? Is there a good Psycho set that you have that you would recommend?
I bought the original Psycho like everybody else did on Blu-ray, and of course I got it here afterwards. But I got Scream Factory put out Psychos 2, 3, and 4, and the remake. So I got all of those, and then MGM put out this. It was just like a cheap DVD. Had them on DVD, so I get the Bates Motel one as well.
Yeah.
So I grabbed that. Scream Factory does some nice stuff with that. There's actually a documentary on Psycho called Inside Psycho or something like that. It's like on the whole franchise that Shout Factory put out a while back, which I'm not sure if it's still available, but if it is, it's worth checking out. So Psycho 3 is directed by Anthony Perkins.
Right.
So it's a bit different. He decides to go in a bit of a darker direction, and a bit sleazier, to be honest with you. Which is not surprising, but it is. There's like one scene. Won't give a lot away, but there's a character that's kind of holding a hand and like disembodied hand, kind of stroking it like that, right?
Yeah.
But it's a fun film. If you watch the documentary about like the franchise, then you realize it was meant to go in a different direction and have a different ending. Right. And I actually like the way that was going to originally go first better than the way that it goes.
Than the way it went, yeah.
Yeah, but it's fun. Like Jeff Fahey, I think, is in it as well. So that's like a one for him. And Psycho 4 is like it pretty much is like pre-Bates Motel. So it's like it's a prequel with Henry Thomas as like Norman Bates. And it would be a hussy playing Mrs. Bates. And I'm a big fan, of course, Black Christmas and Romeo and Juliet. So I'm a big fan of hers.
See, now Black Christmas, that might have to be on my list of movies to get for this year to watch for the first time. That'd be a first watch for me.
Will it really?
Yeah, Black Christmas. Yeah, absolutely. I haven't seen that, but with your recommendation, that's gonna be one I'm gonna check out this year for sure.
It's a fun one. I mean, it was done in 1974. It's pre all the other slashers that came out.
Yeah.
It's more leisurely paced, but I actually like that about it. It's not a body count film.
Right.
And the characters are actually, as opposed to like you'll see a lot of like films, and I love the Friday the 13th films, but there's a lot of stereotype characters through the franchise, right? But in Black Christmas, they flesh out the characters. So Margot Kidder's in it, and her character, she's a fun character. You feel bad, like with her character. If her character dies, I can't say, but if she dies, you would feel bad about it.
Feel bad about it. Yeah. I didn't like I think I know your opinion on this, but I didn't like the remake of Psycho, the shot-for-shot remake, the Gus Van Sant film. I didn't really like it. But
as a film, I don't like it. As a concept, I do.
It's interesting, yeah.
That somebody went out and did what's pretty much a film school project.
Yeah.
And did it on a big budget from a studio. So I appreciate it for that. I think that was miscast. I think it was very much way too early in Vince Vaughn's career to be doing a role like that.
Agreed.
And some of the actual stuff that's put in it, there's a couple sequences, like it's pretty much a shot-for-shot remake, except for there's a couple times where bafflingly they put in like random shots. This is a very Lynchian thing here, by the way. There are these Abergastas going down like the steps as in the original, and then we get a shot of like what's it, like a road or like a tumbleweed. It's really weird.
Yeah.
And I have no idea why it's there.
I'm sure I only saw it once, and I just like the original so much better that I really couldn't go back to it. I mean, it's really hard to redo Hitchcock. I mean, so Cartoon Fortress said too that see now we're getting some comments. Black Christmas Scream Factory Blu-ray is really good. Is that the one you have then, the Scream Factory one you said?
I don't yet. I mean, I still have to get it. What I got, there was a Canadian release called the Seasons Grievings Edition with a mini Rue Morgue magazine. So that's what I need, the Black Christmas.
Right. It came out later. I guess this is an interesting genre too, combining Christmas and Halloween, right? I mean, I know you've talked about this before too, where there's different films that like to do that, right? Where you have kind of, and I love Christmas, so it's hard for me sometimes to watch a Christmas themed movie that might have horror in it.
I can understand that, but I think that's the thing behind the whole Christmas theme, like horror thing, and what works so well is because you take a holiday, like Halloween's already a scary holiday. So like you got the masks and stuff, so you kind of get that, right? But with Christmas, it's meant to be, it's more of a pure, that there's a purity to it. There's like that happy Christmas feeling type of thing. Right. And it kind of subverts that. Right. With whether it be Black Christmas or movies like Silent Night, Deadly Night, that kind of Christmas Evil that did that. Christmas Evil did it in a really unique way. So if you've never seen Christmas Evil, have you seen Christmas Evil?
I haven't seen that.
So it's Fiona Apple's dad, by the way, stars as the killer in this movie. Right. So when you watch it, because eventually you'll watch this film, watch for the ending, because it is, in an odd way, the most truly Christmas movie out of any horror Christmas movie that's out there. And I can't tell you why without giving away the ending.
I'll have to check it. I'll definitely check it out. I mean, these are such great recommendations. I have to tell you, I'm excited for, this might surprise you, but I'm really excited for the Blu-ray release of Killdozer.
I love that movie. I mentioned this on my channel once before. My cousin, for years, like used to tell people there's this movie with this bulldozer and it kills people, and they're like, oh, he dreamt it. That's not a real movie. And we were looking at one of my a history of science fiction movie books that I had, and we were going through it, and he saw a picture of Kyoto. She was like, "Oh my God, it's real! It's a real thing." So when Kino announced that they were putting out the Blu-ray of it, I sent a picture to him right away. I'm like, "I'm going to get you this movie."
See, those are the movies I grew up on too, because I remember one of the first movies that I've ever seen is Trilogy of Terror, which I remember seeing when I was probably 10 or 11. And I was sitting at the top of the stairs. I had gone to bed already, and my parents had the TV on. And I remember sitting at the top of the stairs, just terrified of the third, the Karen Black sequence. Yeah, with Trilogy of Terror. So that was one of the first ones I saw. But my brother and I used to watch these kind of cheesy, horror films like The Bees, as an example, right? With the killer bees and I forget, there were some other ones too. I think William Shatner was in one of them as well. It might have been Attack of the Killer Bees or one of those. But those are the movies that I grew up on.
I love that stuff. Like when my dad came out, we watched The Bees. Actually, Vinegar Syndrome put that one out, and it was such a fun movie. Like John Saxon was in it, and John Carradine. Rest in peace for both those actors.
Yeah, yeah.
Somebody mentioned Kingdom of the Spotters there for William Shatner, which is definitely true. Frauds is also something I used to watch with God, what's his name again? Because he was in Premature. Ray Milland.
Ray Milland, yeah.
And it was in Frogs. Love nature run amok movies.
Ants. I think there's another Ants movie too, right? Which I can't think of the name of.
I have 2 copies of it. Them.
Oh, Them. Yeah, that's right. Them. Sorry. Yeah.
No, I'm a big like killer. Like, I don't like spiders so much because I'm arachnophobic.
Right.
Because I was young. I was in high school, and a girl I was dating at the time decided she was going to get me over my arachnophobia. So her brother had a pet tarantula.
Oh no!
So I was sleeping there, and she decided, hey, wouldn't it be neat if I took the pet and put it on his chest? The answer is no.
No, that's not a good idea.
But she did, and we broke up.
That was not a good move.
No, it was
not a good move at all. Yeah. I should say too, I brought this out. This is something you introduced me to on your channel. This is the both Night Creatures and Phantom of the Opera and Paranoiac. I think I did last year, so I saved some for this year. And then I also have this year. I'm going to watch this one too, which is Frankenstein Must Be Destroyed. I'm watching this one this year too.
That's one of my favorites. Hands down, one of my favorites.
And I'm sure I saw Hammer films when I was a kid. I'm sure they were on TV. I just didn't recognize them as Hammer films, right? Because I remember these things being on TV.
Well, when you're a kid, you don't think of like this movie's by this company.
Yeah.
You think, oh, this movie's cool and I like it.
There's a question too. Oh, Phase 4. I happened to watch a little bit of Phase 4 actually. It was streaming, I think, and I watched some of that. That's an interesting film too, right?
Yeah,
about the ants.
It's been a while since I've seen it. Empire of the Ants, somebody mentioned there with Joan Collins. I remember that because I'm a huge Joan Collins fan.
Oh, yeah. That's just great.
Releases of They Live. There is Scream Factory Pony. It was one of the first releases that they did was They Live.
Yeah, Phase 4 I started to watch too because it was streaming somewhere and I had read about it. And it's where the ants have their own communication and kind of have this intelligence. I didn't see the whole thing, but it was one of the ones I'd like to watch again. And then They Live is a great movie too. I watched that a couple of times. I think that's a very creative film. The John Carpenter movie,
especially now.
Oh yeah, especially now. Yeah.
But no.
If we only had a pair of glasses that would tell us that when we're on.
Just put them on, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But no, I love They Live. Phase 4, I love. This is one of the best poster. I love the poster for Phase 4.
Yeah. So that's what I'm planning to watch. I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about your Patreon or talk about 31 Days of Halloween on your channel. I know you talked about it a little bit, but if you want to talk about your Patreon too, I'll put a link to your Patreon too in this on my channel.
Yeah. Oh no, basically for that, like what I'm doing right there is I'm doing some videos with my better half. She hasn't come on my regular channel, and she's not much of a she doesn't go on with that type of stuff. But she's coming on for these. I'm doing a Made My Wife Watch, which are a series of usually bad films chosen by my Patreon supporters. So I'll put up a poll, usually like 6 or 7 movies, and they'll get to choose. Right now, Robo War is winning. So
I heard about that. Yeah, I haven't seen that, but
it's fun. It's like a cheesy kind of like Italian RoboCop Predator knockoff. I think it's weird. Like whenever you have an Italian knockoff of something, it's never a knockoff of one film. It's always a knockoff of 2 or 3. Like
many films.
Shocking Dark.
What is it? Which one?
Shocking Dark.
I haven't seen that.
So Shocking Dark is pretty much it's aliens, but it's also Terminator. So it's both of them.
Everything's together.
The plot, the aliens is pretty much there. Like they go to this planet, they find this younger kid. There's these aliens coming out. They're really cheap looking aliens, but there's aliens coming out. And just like halfway through it, like, oh, by the way, here's the Terminator, because why not?
Yeah. I noticed in the comments too. I was going to say this too. I enjoyed the streams with your father too. So I don't know if he's coming back to the channel at all.
He is probably not to November, because that's when I'm hoping to go out to visit my home province, because I don't live there anymore. So the last time I was there was at my dad's house, and hopefully I'll be able to do like another stream there at my dad's, and we'll have kind of fun with that as well.
Oh yeah. I really enjoy. I think you did a few videos with him too, right? You showed a little bit of his collection, and then I think he answered some questions too, which was great.
Yeah, we're hoping to do the next one that I do with my dad is Hammer versus Amicus, because I'm not young, but like my dad is old enough to have grown up to watch the Hammer movies like in the theater, to see all of them.
Yeah.
And the Amicus stuff too. So he'll give like a kind of a really neat, more bit of perspective even like than I'll get there, because he'll know the stuff. He knows it better. He knows it better.
Right. He knows those better. Yeah. So when you have your just getting back to your Patreon a little bit too, when you have your wife watch the film, then do you do a live stream of that afterwards to get her reaction, or you?
No, we do a pre-tape video for that one, because live streams don't do so. They're harder for Patreon. You got to set up a Vimeo account. So there's like a pay aspect to it as well.
Right.
That and I don't think she's as comfortable yet to do like a live stream. But I'm trying to always get her in to do a super chat thing for together type thing.
That's cool.
But still, that will be on my normal channel. It'll be Patreon, normal one. But still working on that. I'm trying. Yeah,
no, it's great. And one of the other things, I know you've done this a couple times too, but I like on your channel, I love the secret TV room videos also, which I know you do once in a while, because it's interesting to see what, I think as film lovers, right, we all have our movie collection in different areas. I have different shelves. I have some films in drawers and things like that, and I try to redo my shelving. But of course, the movie room is amazing, but it's nice to see what is in the back closet there.
Yeah. So basically, I put all my movies in. Like, I'm not in my movie room right now. For those that are new, this is just upstairs where I do like a lot of my writing and studying and stuff, and watching films. I got a TV over there, like just a 55-inch, like for watching movies on when I'm reviewing in that. Especially if I'm going to do like a podcast or something, because I've guested on a couple of those, and I'm shouting them out because they're really nice. Cobwebs, the Gothic Cinema.
Cobwebs,
It's the discs. Brian. Who does also his Pure Cinema, so those are really great. So I've been able to been lucky enough to get on those, because I listened to them before I knew that I was going to be on them. And for me, like, I got downstairs, got the movie room, and I got everything set up there. So when I moved in first, though, I set up everything so perfectly. Dave was like, it was so happy. And then there's a flood.
Oh no!
So literally that day, and I was this. So basically, when we moved into this place, we would like take over. Like, I would fill up a U-Haul, come here, unpack the U-Haul, go to work, come home, start setting up the movie room, and I did that over like a few day period.
Right.
Then the flood downstairs started to happen, so I was basically taking all the movies upstairs. And then taking all the bookshelves like that I got the movies on, movie shelves, and actually just like kind of put my hands on just dragging all those upstairs. So for about a month, I had like movies like all around my living room. So all these movies and movie shelves and it was a bit of a mess. But yeah, I realized that I couldn't put all my movies and the TV shows into the same room. So we had another room off of where we have the washing jar at, and so it was a bit of a smaller room, but it still was a decent size. So I decided I was going to use the movie shelves there and just do TV shows, like only TV shows.
Only TV, yeah.
So I did TV there, and I realized I needed a place for my VHS and for my Laserdisc, some of my geeky stuff, like games and that. So I put that in there as well. And for my Super 8, some 8mm, because I collect those too. But they're harder to get.
Now, have you ever done a final count on how many movies you have as an approximate? I don't know.
Before I came here, I think it was a bit over 5,000 or 6,000. And that was like box sets, not like single films. But I bought a lot in the last couple of years since I've been here.
Yeah.
So I don't know anymore.
Yeah, I'd say for me as a collector, I've started to buy a little bit more. at least in the last couple of years, I've really increased my collection. I had a lot of VHS tapes before and had to get rid of those when I was in Los Angeles, and then DVDs, I traded a lot of those in, and so now I'm just collecting mostly Blu-rays and 4Ks. But if there's something on DVD that I don't have where I really like the movie and that's the only format I have, then I'll get that. But I have a very small collection compared to so many people. People have. I think I probably only have maybe 1,500 to 2,000. I think just with DVDs and Blu-rays, which is pretty small.
Size though, man. Like that's not a small collection size.
Yeah, I mean it's getting up there for sure. It's definitely getting up there. So I mean enough where I had to buy another shelf and move everything. I moved all my Criterions into one area where I could sort them in spine number order, which is good. So I finally have all those organized. Before they were double stacked on another shelf. So, but you know, with all the sales going on, like I said, I don't know how people keep up with it. It's just there's so many different sales. Warner Archive, Kino Lorber, Indicator. Indicator is a label that I absolutely love, and so I'm always looking for sales there. And they don't do sales that often, right? So
usually once a year.
Yeah. So, and I mean, it's pretty affordable. Some of the box sets are pretty affordable, right? I mean, they're not, all year round. $50, I think, for the most part.
Some of the Indicator ones are a bit more pricey because they're come from the UK.
Yeah.
But they're worth it. Definitely what they put
totally agree.
To their stuff. Have you collected a lot of the Indicator stuff so far, like the hammer sets or the?
I mean, I have two hammer sets, the William Castle set, I'm just looking at my shelf, the Bud Bedecker set, I have that. And then I have the individual Sinbad releases. I didn't get the box set when it came out, but that's what I have. But
I'm lucky because my better half is a huge Sinbad Ray Harryhausen fan.
Oh, that's good.
So she actually put me onto Indicator because she wanted to get like this movie from Twilight Time called Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger because it was one that she did remember seeing, but it sold out before she had the chance to get it. So she's on Amazon UK and she said there's a Sinbad set and it's on sale for like really cheap. So we grabbed it, and shortly after the set went into print. We were really impressed with what they did, and I said, okay, if they put out anything else, we're getting it. And then they started putting out Ray Harryhausen.
Yeah.
And we're both huge Ray Harryhausen fans.
I think I do have a Harryhausen set too. I think I also have that. Yeah, I do have one of the sets too. There's one that's out of print now, right?
The first
volume 2. Either volume 1 or 2 is out of print, I think. But yeah.
But yeah, it's I'm a big Indicator fan. So what's your favorite company? Like if you would go for you? I
mean, I have to say Criterion, right? I buy more Criterion, I think, than anything else. But I do, a close second is Indicator, and then I think Warner Archive's been putting out a lot of great stuff too. So there's a couple of they're having a big sale coming up pretty soon here, and Kino Lorber. Those are the ones I order from probably the most. So I know you're obviously Vinegar Syndrome and things like that. But what are your favorites?
It changes. I mean, obviously, I do love Criterion. They're literally when they say they're a film school in a box, that's literally what they are.
Yeah.
And I enjoy that about them. I do think that that labels like Vinegar Syndrome and Severin don't always get the notice that they should get.
Yeah.
Because they're putting a lot of stuff in there. If there's a company that kind of like threads the line of both kind of the cheesy stuff and the high-end stuff, then it's probably Arrow Video.
Oh, Arrow, yeah. I forgot about Arrow, yeah.
Because they do like so much. Like they've put out the Krzysztof Kozlowski set, and they put out a Herschel Gordon Lewis set. So it's very varied in the stuff that they put out, but they put the same amount of work into it either way.
Yeah.
And like, are you getting, or did you get the Gamera set?
I didn't get the Gamera set, no.
It's going to be, I haven't got it yet, but it looks massive. And I'm super impressed. I got the Godzilla set from Criterion, of course.
I have the Godzilla set too. Yeah. That's a great
man, because they kind of go together.
Same thing, right? Yeah.
Put it right next to your Godzilla set.
We got a couple comments here too. I don't know if you want to answer any of those. Public Enemy number 1 and 2 from, I guess I don't know. Is that a label or is that do you know what that is?
I don't know actually. I know
Ms. Public Enemy number 1 and 2.
I think about like the movie with James Cagney.
Yeah.
So if it's a company, I do apologize.
Second Sight. I guess I haven't ordered anything from Second Sight.
You should.
That's another good label. Yeah.
They do like a bunch of the Amicus stuff, and they put out like some. They put out a really nice "When a Stranger Calls" box set with both of the films on there, and the short film and like a poster and a book. A really nice set.
I'll have to check that out. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's so many companies, right? I mean, there's so many. Then you're watching for sales. I'm always watching for Kino Lorber sales. There's a couple of Tarkovsky titles that only Kino Lorber has, which I've been waiting for maybe Criterion to pick up at some point. There's a movie called The Sacrifice and Nostalgia from Tarkovsky that I really like a lot. Cartoon Fortress said that I've been meaning to watch that video too, by the way, the Gamera set. He did an unboxing of the Gamera set on his channel. So I haven't had a chance to watch that yet, but I do want to watch it. Yeah.
I watched all the Gamera box unboxings one day when I thought I wasn't going to get mine. So I went there. So I know Cartoon Fortress video is actually really good.
I have to watch that. I was looking at YouTube this morning. I said, that's one of the ones I need to watch. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I just think with all the sale, I love your coverage of sales too. When sales come on and just kind of your advice and how to just, look at the site, see when things go on. Was it a Severance sale or a Vinegar Syndrome sale where the website went down or something for a while and they extended the sale? I thought it was maybe the last one, but
You're right. This was the last one. I did a big video, like when there's a big sale coming up, like a big Vinegar Syndrome or a big Severance sale, I do tend to I'll focus the channel at that point on their company so that people, when they're going in, they're not going in blind.
Yeah.
And because I appreciate that, because I had to do that when I was going in first for the companies, go and look on videos, okay, what does this company have out? And I still do for companies that I'm not sure of, or just movies that I want to get that I don't know about. Because I learn a lot from a lot of people like you and a lot of people on here on YouTube. So what I did, I started doing this big countdown to Severin sale. And I did a sale. I did a video right before the sale went live, about an hour before the sale went live.
Yeah.
The sale went live and I couldn't get anything. And so many people, you would have swore that I was Severin, because
some people are upset
at the time. Were like, I can't believe, but that sale. And I'm like, I'm just a guy talking about it. I got nothing to do with the sale. I'm not a Severin. I'm not a Severin employee.
Right.
I got a lot of comments on that. But now everybody got their stuff and everybody's happy. So hopefully it goes okay. They just put up a new website.
Yeah. Love to check it out, but
I'm not sure. I think they need to get somebody really kind of a techie in there to look at their site.
Yeah.
There's stuff that needs to be done. They're a great company and they put out some great stuff. They just need to work on the website issue part of it.
Yeah. I think it's the same in a lot of ways with Barnes & Noble. Barnes & Noble had their 50% off sale for Criterion movies. And I felt like I had some problems this year because of the way the post office is working here in the US. And so I placed a couple orders directly with Barnes & Noble. And of course, Amazon was doing price matching for the Criterion titles, but my packages got lost. I had to open up claims here in the US for the packages to be found. I placed my final order for Criterion through Barnes & Noble at the beginning of August, right at the end of the sale. And I just last week received the movies. So from now on, it's probably going to be Amazon for me, because Amazon has their own, trucking services now too. So I've been getting better delivery through them. I can usually get stuff here in a day or 2 days. But I think there were a lot of people that were getting packages lost,
Oh yeah. It happened to me a couple times, but not with Barnes & Noble, thankfully. But because I haven't bought, the only Criterions I bought recently have been the big box sets. There's so many that I need to get. If you don't have it yet, Dave, which you probably do, A Face in the Crowd.
I do have that.
Really, really good movie.
I do have that one. Yeah, I've got I have just a little over 200 Criterion titles.
You have way more than me with Criterion.
Yeah, that's that's usually my area to go to. If it's as soon as it's 50% off, I often watch Blu-ray.com. I'm on Blu-ray.com every day, looking to see what Criterion titles. And during the Barnes & Noble sale, usually Amazon is matching a lot of the prices. So I was able to just pick up some titles from Amazon and pick up some from Barnes & Noble, which was good. So there's a clarification. There was a clarification in the comments about the French biopic that I'm not familiar with, but that was, I guess that was an earlier comment. But
my better half would know it because she's a huge fan of Vincent Cassel.
Okay.
So I think she finds him cute too. He's a good actor. She finds him cute. So she would know the film. She knows all this stuff.
Right. I think we're closing in on an hour, so we'll just ask if there's any questions. About 6 people with us, I think, which is great to have some comments. This was a test for us, right? We wanted to test this out to see whether
work out.
Yeah, but it seems fine. It's pretty easy to use. I think StreamYard itself is for the free service, I think it's about 20 hours a month you get for free, and then there's paid plans. This is not sponsored, of course, or anything. We're trying this.
We wish we could sponsor.
We wish we could sponsor. Yeah, that'd be great. But I think it works pretty well. I mean, I know you've been looking for something where you can go live with others on your channel, so this might be a good option. It seems like a good option.
It's definitely the best option right now, man. Like this, looking at the stuff that they got out there, it's incredible.
Yeah, and I know other channels, they've been doing Zoom calls and recording those, which is fine. But I like this. I like the interface too, where it's kind of full screen. I think with a Zoom call, you've got kind of a letterbox. You've got there's like a black, there's bars above and below the images. But I think this works out pretty well. So
I like this too because it's live.
Yeah,
and the comments are right there.
Yeah.
So we can comment back and forth just right away, and I enjoy that part of it.
Yeah, and I know that's your forte, the live video, right? And I think it's you do that so well. I've said this before, but you do that so well just because it's very improv in nature, right? Things are happening and you're kind of responding as you go, and you do that so well. So for those that are watching this later, please watch Aaron's channel. It's such a great channel. He knows so much about film, so many different, his collection is amazing, and you've got so much knowledge about all sorts of films that I just love the channel, and I continue to watch. I do have to say, sometimes I think because of the time difference, I think you're an hour ahead of me. So sometimes if you come on later, I try to come on sometimes, and then it's time for me to sleep.
Yeah, it gets hard. I mean, I've been trying, guys. I got people that watch from over the UK, and I got people that watch from over in in other areas as well. So it's hard to try and figure it out. If there's one big fault aside from the fact that I ramble, is that I would like to get more situated time for something like that.
Yeah. I remember too. And this was maybe a year ago. You're going to have to correct me here, but I remember there was a time when I think you were taking a break from your job or something, but you were on at lunchtime, which is perfect for me because I was making lunch, and I could watch. I think it was in the middle of the day. It was something like 12 or 1, I think, but I don't know if you're on a break or something, but
yeah, like I did. Basically, there's a short period of time, a very short period of time when when I was we were laid off for a little bit before we got back on again.
Right.
And at that point, it was like, okay, let's see if this YouTube thing works out.
Yeah. So in the comments, Old School is asking that this is his first introduction to you. So your channel name is Aaron Pynn, and I'm going to link this in the description once this gets posted. I'll link all that information in there, including your Patreon too. So, but I don't know if you want to say anything else since Old School asked the final question there.
No, it's yeah, you're right. Exactly. You already said it. My channel's name is Aaron Pynn because I've been on YouTube for years. And I had a very, very small channel at around 20, 25 subscribers for a longest period of time. It was just little tiny videos. My first video was done on an iPhone 4, but no, it's I have fun with it. It's mostly a live channel right now, but I am putting some more pre-taped ones in between because I do have some people that have been asking me to do more pre-taped material in between to have more, if they can't come into a live stream or they can't come in for a video that may take an hour to 2 hours, then they may want something a little more focused, or something like 10 or 20 minutes on a specific topic that they can actually just
I think that's good too. And I've seen a couple of those in there. I mean, it's all good there, but Sunday morning is a good time too. I've been thinking about maybe just doing this is just my first thought about this, but doing some live videos on Sunday, just doing a Sunday live thing like this.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. So, because I don't go live as much as you do, but I do mostly, videos that are just recorded and things like that. But I do like the live experience as well. So listen, I want to thank you for coming on. We've spent about an hour, and it's great. Thanks for everyone for joining this. Maybe we can do this again, Aaron. We should do this again. I had a good time.
And thank you so much, because I had a fantastic time here. I was nervous. I'm not going to lie to you. I was nervous coming for the first time.
Well, I was nervous too. My wife knows I was nervous. I'm like, I'm going to talk to Aaron today. What's going to happen? Yeah.
You're a great host.
Oh, well, thanks so much. And so, anyway, thanks for watching, Aaron. I'm going to end the broadcast, but I'll, if you want to stay on for a minute, we can chat for a couple minutes after.
Oh, for sure.
All right, I'm going to end right now.